What you gonna do, fiat dollar? Or CryptoBullGod and his cryptomaniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you?
Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod, and in today's video, Altcoin SURGE. We're going to get into 10 altcoin crypto charts and discuss why the charts are setting up for a massive move to the upside. Now, in the description of today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a few key marks. I'm very cognizant of key audiences that I have for a few of the charts, their respective USD pairings. So I hope you appreciate that. And if you appreciate the content, please, the thing that you can do that's really going to help me out as a content creator to further ensure that I'm making videos moving forward is to subscribe to the channel. I gotta hit a few buttons because YouTube makes it challenging. So make sure to get alerts, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, leave me something. I like engaging with everybody. I'm sure you can tell this at this point. And also share it with others. Now, you can find me on Crypto Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. Thank you very much. I am over 4,100 cryptomaniacs, so I appreciate that. You can also find me on Tradingview at CryptoBullGod. You can find me on YouTube, obviously, at CryptoBullGod. You can also find me on Instagram now at CryptoBullGod, where I do something a lot different. I share motivational videos, more related to working out. Before we actually get into the charts, just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm showing is financial advice. I'm looking to educate, help, and spread sound technical analysis to the community and helping others in making informed decisions. However, the ownership falls on you to make your own personal financial decisions. So let's get into it. The first chart we're going to start off with is the king altcoin. It is Ethereum. Now, one of the things I had tweeted about, so it is important that you follow me. This is the reason that it's important to follow me on Twitter. I mean, I routinely post charts on Twitter. This is a weekly view, okay, on Ethereum. This red box, let's actually zoom in on this red box. As you can see, this red box is a red zone of resistance. Look what's happening. Again, this is a weekly view. Pay a little bit less attention to the moving averages because the moving averages on this chart that I have are a lot different than the moving averages that I have on every other chart. These are the moving averages I like to look at for Ethereum personally. So we have a 10 EMA, a 21 EMA, and a 21 simple moving average. Okay, the key to understand, if you're not too familiar with technical analysis, you want to see the blue above the green, which is above the orange. And as you can see here, we're getting the cross above the orange. So we want to see this green start to cross above the orange. Okay, that's really what you want to be seeing. But there is a red zone of resistance here. As you can see on the current weekly candle, we've currently shattered this red zone of resistance. So if Sunday can hold up, this weekly candle closes on Sunday. This is very bullish. Wouldn't be surprising to back test an area around here. And then I have a few key lines of resistance here. You can see around 3,600. This is a line of resistance. Red areas are lines of resistance. This is important to keep in mind as you look at charts moving forward that I'm sharing. Red lines are always areas of resistance that I share with you. Green lines are areas of support. As we break through an area of red resistance, we can back test it and it becomes a green line of support. This is what you want to see in a bullish environment, which is what we're in. So there's a few key areas here to keep in mind moving forward. It's 3,600, around 3,900, and then our all-time high, which is 4,385. The other important thing that you want to keep an eye on with Ethereum, there is a negative divergence that has been in play. You know, this is something I talked about in my prior video within Bitcoin, a negative divergence that has since been negated on Bitcoin. We want to see it get negated on Ethereum. Again, Ethereum is the king altcoin. As Ethereum goes, the rest of the altcoin markets will go. This is just how things are currently structured within the crypto environment, and we have to respect that and understand that as investors. We have a negative divergence that's drawn here on the RSI. You see this downward sloping line? So as price was moving up, you can clearly see from this point, right? Price is moving up, okay? Come on, TradingView. Price is moving up, all right? So as you can see, price is moving up here, but what's happening? The RSI is decreasing in value, right? This RSI is decreasing in value. So what I've drawn out here is with the current RSI where it's at, which we're sitting at 61.45, I've drawn the prior lower high that was created back on the week of May 3rd. Okay, you can see right here, 2021, at 87.5. So what we want to see, this dotted line here, what I want to see, the reason the arrow's drawn here is I want to see the RSI eventually come up to 83.5 and break that level. Let's just call it 84. We want to see the RSI get up to 84 and break that level. Okay, that's something to keep in mind on the weekly Ethereum USD chart. But right now, the price structure on Ethereum is looking extremely bullish. Let's get into Chainlink. We're going to keep this DeFi narrative rolling. We're going to get into Chainlink, then we're going to get into Uniswap. This is, again, a weekly view. The thing I want to focus on here, there's really kind of a few things I want to focus on here. First off is the fact that, as you can see, price action right here, we had broken down below. We had broken down below the 50 simple moving average on the weekly chart for Link. Okay, the 50 simple moving average is the purple line that you see there. I keep pointing to the screen like you can see me pointing to the line, but hopefully you can see the purple line. You can see we broke below the 50 simple moving average, and we have since broken back above it. What we want to see, we want to see this area hold as support. We're going to face some resistance up in this area, okay? You can see the 10 SMA, which is the blue line here. It's starting to curl. So if we can close the week bullish tomorrow, we can start to see the 10 SMA curl back up above the 50 SMA, and we're going to start to enter a zone of resistance. Again, any area of red is resistance. This is a zone of resistance between 34, we're going to call it, and call it $40, okay? Once we battle this area, the next level of resistance I have shown for Chainlink is around $44 to $45, and then its all-time high of $53, okay? The other thing I'd like to point out on the weekly scale, which is, or the weekly chart, which is very significant, is the MACD. As you can see down here, we're starting to get what looks like we might get a cross here, okay? Right here. You see that? We're starting to get what looks like might be a cross on the MACD and to get above zero. Anytime we've had that, you can see right here, look what happened at price right here, okay? You can see we had a large run. We had a MACD cross here. Look what happened to price, all right? So Chainlink also is telling us that it's building bullish structure. It's important to keep in mind as we go through these charts, I'm not signaling to you that any of these altcoin charts between now and this week are going to go from 0 to 100, okay? What I'm trying to share with you within these 10 charts is bullish structure is being rebuilt, right? We've had some massive corrections, which we'll get into. But what's happening is we're creating higher lows and higher highs, the basic building blocks of a trend reversal to the bullish upside, which I discussed in my prior video. I'll leave a link to it. But this is what we're seeing in Chainlink. Let's get into Uniswap. I'm a firm believer in Uniswap, and I am invested. Every project that, by the way, the reason that I picked these 10 coins, it's not only because I am invested in these projects, it's also because I do tend to tweet about them quite frequently on Twitter to let you guys know what I'm thinking. Now, this chart, to me, looks even, I wouldn't say better than Chainlink, but it's setting up for a nice bullish reversal pattern. So this, again, actually, this is not a weekly view on on Uniswap just because there isn't as much price data, okay? So this is on the 3-day. So the first thing I want to do is focus just on the price data. Let's not look at any price indicators. Let's just look at the price data. What we can see is the 10 SMA, the blue line, is starting to curl up. The 20 SMA is starting to curl up as well. And the price is battling this. Look at this. It's battling the 50 simple moving average right here, right? So it's battling that 50 simple moving average. Now, there is a red line of support, which technically we have flipped. This is on the 3-day again. This is not on the weekly, okay? We flipped this, so really this is a green line of resistance. What I'd like to see, okay, for Uniswap, what I'd like to see is prices maintain a level above around 24. Again, price wicks within a candlestick. That is an expression of volatility, so it's one thing for price to wick below here, okay, to temporarily pierce $24. It's another thing to get candle body closes below here. So I just want to see the candle body closes remain above $24. If we can begin to build support around $24, which I fully expect, then our next battle will be around $34. You know, it's important to keep in mind, by the way, especially as we drop down in market capitalization in some of these cryptocurrency projects and get into smaller projects. The lines I have drawn, they're clear lines of either areas of resistance or support, but really, I mean, the way to look at it is price zones, okay? So really, I've drawn a line here, okay, at $34. But you can see some wicks here above here that extend up to like $37. So really, somewhere up around $34 would be our next area of resistance for Uniswap. Outside of $34, I don't see any clear lines of resistance once we clear there and get candle body closes above $34 until our all-time high, which looks like it was around $48, okay? So again, we're building bullish structure on the price chart. The other thing to keep in mind, the MACD has crossed. It's not above zero yet. We're getting there. The other thing to look at is this stochastic RSI is maxed out. Now, it's important to understand that price indicators can be oversold and overbought for an extended period of time. So the fact that the stochastic RSI, you can see right here, look at where it's at. It's at 100. The blue line's at 100. The orange line's at 99.85. So we're maxed out right now. We can stay maxed out for a period of time, but it is a little bit of a caution flag that we could see a little bit of a retracement, right? But just keep in mind, I want to see candle body closes remain above this line of $24. And right now it looks like we're sitting at about $28. So, you know, we could see a 20%, roughly a 20% pullback and still remain very bullish on this chart. Let's get into the first component of the Holy Crypto Trinity. Welcome in, HbarBarians. I know that everybody would like a video update on HBAR. So what I have drawn here, the other important thing to keep in mind as we go through some of these charts, if you ever see a line drawn and it's going through candle bodies, okay, it's invalid. And the only reason that I have it drawn, you should never have lines drawn through candle bodies, is because this line was drawn on a different time frame. So for example, this is on a 1-day for HBAR. If we look at a 3-day, chances are, yep, as you can see, this line is very valid, right? So I chose a higher time frame just because it's a more volatile asset. So I chose a 3-day when I drew this line, and as you can see, this is a very valid pattern. So I was originally looking at the 1-day. Let's look at the 3-day here, okay? So what we've done is we've had this downward sloping line of resistance, downward sloping line of support, right? This is essentially a massive, for the love of God, HbarBarians. Let me stress something to you, okay? I've sensed the frustration in the time that it has taken to see some price appreciation within the past several months within HBAR. This is in a downtrend. It's in a downtrend, right? But it's also an accumulation. This pattern, this is a bull flag. This is price accumulation and consolidation. Okay, I'm not the only one that thinks that. All right? What we've just done is broken this downward sloping line of resistance. Okay? We have to have some patience. I will admit, when we saw this price action, I was on record as saying this. When we saw this breakout right here within this candlestick in particular, I thought we were going to see a break to the upside. We didn't. We just saw further downside, price accumulation, and consolidation, all right? So I feel some of your frustration, but this thing is setting up for massive consolidation and massive upside, okay? So sit tight. As you can see on the 3-day here, the 10 simple moving average is beginning to curl above the 50 simple moving average. One of the charts I actually like to look at on here, is it the 5-day or the 4-day? Yeah, it's the 5-day. So as you can see, look, the 10 simple moving, this is on a 5-day chart for HBAR, okay? As you can see, the 10 simple moving average never even crossed below the 50, the 50 simple moving average. These are both momentum indicators. They're momentum indicators I like to tweet about quite frequently. It's the KST, no sure thing, and it's the MACD. Okay, they're both momentum indicators. As you can see, both on the 5-day chart are getting ready to curl and cross above 0, which is the gray line. Okay, the KST is still above 0. The MACD is about to cross above 0. Just real quick before we flip to another chart, as you can see, the last time we crossed here and got above 0 was right about here. So you can see the price accumulation that took place. We were at about, 3.5 cents. And I didn't sell any. I was just accumulating. We rode that bad boy all the way up to 46 cents. Okay? So just remain patient. There is bullish structure being built in the HBAR chart. And we're going to draw a comparison to One Harmony in a moment. But before we do that, the other chart I wanted to hit on, which I feel very convicted to, and again, I'll leave another link to another video that I spoke to. We saw Matic do something very incredible, and that was that compared to its BTC pairing, okay, compared to its Bitcoin USD pairing, when you charted out Matic, the fib extensions that it reached, new all-time highs, was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So you'll see in the prior video, when I was talking about HBAR, I talked about a lot of these fib extensions on the HBAR BTC chart. That's what we're looking at here on the weekly. As you can see, this thing is still a cup and handle. Let's kind of zoom out on this, or let's zoom in on this thing, okay? You can see this thing is a nice, look at the green rounding pattern, and then the hand, which is the cup, and then you can see the black, which is the handle here. I don't know what fib extension we're going to reach. Nobody does. But what I've clearly done to try to help everybody out is to put logical and theoretical prices for Bitcoin and what the HBAR price would be once we definitely reach at least one of these fib extensions, okay? Whether it's the 1.618, 2, 3, 4, or 5, I've laid all the prices out for you. Lastly, for HBAR, you can tell I love HBAR a lot. We're covering 3 charts for HBAR. It's the only chart I'm covering 3 charts for. This is the HBAR Matic chart. It is the #1 chart that I'm looking at, okay? And as you can see here, I've pointed to this, I've tweeted to this. There's still, in my opinion, a fractal playing out for HBAR. Now, one of the things I don't think I did a good job of laying out in my prior video, I did talk about this zone here, this yellow zone, which I felt, whether we reached the bottom of this zone around 1.5 or we reached all the way up towards this descending line of resistance at some point this year, one of the things I didn't hit on that I should have indicated is there is a line of resistance around 0.5 here, but really this 0.6 to 1, this is going to be a strong area of resistance, in my opinion, based on prior confluence here and prior confluence in here. I think between the 0.6 to 1 is going to be a strong area of resistance. So I would look, once we see a large move in HBAR, which I would fully expect at some point soon, if not this month, is what I'm anticipating, I would not be surprised one bit to see the HBAR Matic chart get somewhere between this 0.6 to 1. Again, let's not get confused on these relativities. I've hit on this several times. If you've been here for a little bit, I've hit on this several times in my videos. I don't like to just talk to the charts. I like to try to educate my audience and help them out because I understand everybody's on a different ends of the spectrum. All we're looking at here, right? When you look at this HBAR chart, what are we looking at, right? We look at a daily HBAR chart. We're looking at HBAR relative to the United States dollar. That's what we're looking at. What are we looking at here? We're looking at the price of HBAR in US dollars relative to Matic's price in US dollars. That's all it is. It's a ratio. And I know if you're not mathematically inclined, if you're not strong on the left side of your brain, I understand that maybe some of this stuff doesn't make a lot of sense. but all we're doing is taking ratios and we're comparing. It's not market capitalization. It's just US dollars. So it's HBAR USD divided by Matic USD. It's the same thing on Bitcoin. It's HBAR USD divided by Bitcoin USD. That's all we're doing here. So before we move off this chart, if we can manage in the month of August or even September to get up to 1, right in this level of 1.0 on this chart, HBAR Matic, what that means is HBAR's USD value will equal 1 for 1 what Matic's USD value is. So if Matic is at $2, HBAR would be at $2, okay? Let's move into the next token within the holy crypto Trinity, which is One. You know, the thing I wanted to point out, and this is a massive bull flag, by the way, for anybody who's invested in One in Harmony, I hope for the love of God that you are. I've been a strong proponent of HBAR One and Mana, as well as other tokens. So I hope a portion that you've at least done your due diligence and looked into it. This is a massive, massive bull flag, okay, which I've tweeted about. And you can see, this isn't an exact target. That's not what I'm drawing out. But what I tried to show everybody on Twitter is, look, this is consolidation, right? We're consolidating within this flag here, and we're going to break to the upside, right? And it fits with the narrative of every other single crypto project that we're going to go over today, okay? So one of the things I wanted to point out on this chart, okay, is now this is on a 3-day. Maybe the best thing to do would be to look at a 3-day on both charts. But for those who are frustrated with HBAR, okay, and if anybody's frustrated with One, take a look at this chart right now, okay? Look at this consolidation, okay? We had a move up, some consolidation, a little bit of a breakout. Does this not look the same? We had a move up, some consolidation. Now, if we drew this line down here, we can't do that technically because we had to move up here. But as you can see, even though we haven't gotten above this line here, the point is the move up in One Harmony and the consolidation in here within a flag, it looks very similar to the move up, okay? The move up in HBAR and then the consolidation, and now we're beginning to break out. It's the same damn thing in here. We had a move. Look at this. I mean, it's the same thing. We had a move up, consolidation, we're going to break out. It's literally the same thing. So One is literally, Harmony is just building a massive bullish structure here. The gray line, by the way, if you want to know what that is, it's just what I would term a median line. If we negated this move up here, you can see I wanted to see if we would break this line of resistance here, which we've gotten above it. So that was my own personal reference. But One is building up for some massive structure. The last chart I want to look at on Harmony One is the One HBAR chart. So again, it's just the One USD value in relation to HBAR. It's not market capitalization. It's just USD, okay? So what we can see here is One is creating higher highs. You see the high here, the low here, the high here, the low here. It's building higher highs and higher lows as compared to HBAR, right? And what I did is I looked at fib extensions, and actually I'll show you just so you can appreciate. I looked at fib extensions, or fib retracements, I apologize. Fib retracements, I apologize. Fib retracements, and as you can see, approximately, when we made our move up from here, okay, up to here, and we retraced to here, you can see we reached over a 2.618 fib extension, okay? So what I did was, I said, all right, if we continue to build bullish momentum within the One, which is the USD value for One divided by the HBAR USD value, if we continue to build similar bullish momentum, but we don't reach as high a height on the final move, what I would deem the final move going into the end of this year, maybe we reach somewhere close to the 1.618 fib extension, which is around 91% or 90% of HBAR's USD value. So what I've done is I've pointed to a price range, okay? I pointed to a price range between 80 to 90% and said, okay, so I think it's completely feasible based on the structure that's being built here that at some point, and it could be after HBAR tops, nobody knows the exact timing of these things, but at some point, one's USD value could represent 80 to 90% of HBAR's USD value. Now, if you find that hard to believe or you're not able to make sense of that, okay, I will again share another link to the Holy Crypto Trinity video. And if you look at price projections that I have for both HBAR and one, and then you do basic arithmetic, and you say, all right, based on CBG's educated opinion on where one might top and HBAR might top, is it reasonable? Is it reasonable to assume that one's USD value could equal 80 to 90% of HBAR's USD value? Take a look at the video, get back to me and let me know if that makes sense, because to me it makes perfect sense. So I'm targeting this zone. I think it's completely possible that one could get up to the 80 to 90% of USD value of HBAR. And who knows, it could exceed it. It could go up to a 2.618 fib extension. Let's get into the last component of the Holy Crypto Trinity. Then we're going to open it up to the XRP community and XLM. So what I've drawn here, we're actually looking at a daily view on Mana. I posted about a potential ascending triangle, and I posted a target range here for Mana on the USD. You can see we're battling. Look at this. The pink line here is the 200 SMA on the daily. Look at us battling this line. Well, let's zoom in. We finally got above it. Look at that. We finally broke above it, and I'm expecting a massive move up to somewhere around $1.20, and we're sitting around 76 cents at the moment. I hold me some Decentraland Mana, so happy to see that. So I expect a massive move up at some point to around $1.20. It's not uncommon. You know, when you see a pattern successfully break out statistically in the way that it should, where the odds are in its favor, it's not uncommon to see it break out somewhere within this zone and then backtest the prior area, form it as support, right? This was an area of resistance. Okay, so now we form it as support. That's what bullish structure does, the basic building blocks to move forward and create higher highs and higher lows. We want to backtest that prior area of resistance and form it as support. So we come back, we backtest it as support, and we continue higher and break our all-time high. Wouldn't surprise me to see something like that. All right. The other thing I wanted to point out here, this is an ascending triangle. What I'm pointing out here, you know, typically in an ascending triangle, what you see are 3 touches, meaning we have a touch here. Technically, we have 2 candles here, but that's 1 touch. You'd like to see a 3rd touch here. That's typically what you see, but, you know, this is a volatile asset. We can zoom in perhaps on a 2-day chart. Now, if you zoom in on a 2-day chart, what you'll see is you can always change up the time frame, and it's still a valid pattern if what you're drawing is valid. Now, interestingly enough, what you'll see is it's coiled up a lot tighter on the 2-day time frame. So we see a touch here, and then a touch here. I fully expect, unless if the market poops on us, which you never know, the market could poop on us, but we don't want the market to poop on us. All right, no pooping in the market. Right, Bitcoin's too bullish. Let's check out Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin's at 44,400. All right, Bitcoin's pretty fucking bullish. All right, so let's hope for a bullish close tomorrow. So as long as Bitcoin doesn't poop on us, I'm fully expecting a break of this ascending triangle formation and get up in the $1.20 area. Okay, and get a little bit of resistance there. All right, let's get into XRP. Woo! XRP! I haven't charted about this in a while. I'm psyched up. I haven't charted about XRP in a while. So for those that are new, if you've been following me for a long time, you know the only reason I have not posted about XRP or tweeted has nothing to do with my conviction on the project. It has everything to do with the fact that it's not on any exchanges where I can do buy or sell limit orders, all right? So I'm holding what I'm holding, okay? I hold XRP. I'm holding what I'm holding, but I'm not selling anything. I haven't bought anything because I have a big enough bag, so I'm not buying anything. But I haven't tweeted about it since it went off the exchanges. I do, per a tweet that I sent out recently, I do expect, based on what I've been following, my current expectation is this whole fucking lawsuit bullshit, Black Swan event from late 2020, is going to get settled at some point in the fall. It's going to get relisted on exchanges, and then things are going to be a lot different. You're going to see me tweeting about XRP a lot more frequently. Anyway, let's get into XRP. So this is a weekly view on XRP. This is a huge area of resistance that I have drawn between $1.35 and $1.97. All right, where are we sitting right now? We're sitting at, oh Christ, we're sitting at almost 82 cents. Awesome. All right, so there's a couple things I'd like to point out on this weekly chart that's looking very bullish right now. Let's look at the price data. All right, this is a weekly view again. Look at the 10 SMA curling on our weekly candle that's above it. This shit just wants to, look at the line I have drawn. It's a rounding bottom. It just wants to round out and go above, right? The 10's above the 50, which is bullish. We want to see the 10 SMA get back above this. We want to see the 10 SMA get back above the 20 yellow line, all right, the 20 SMA. And then we're going to face some resistance in here. Now, I did see some bullshit posted. You know, one thing I get really frustrated with is I've just begun muting an insurmountable amount of people. Actually, before we get into that, the KST and the MACD, which I already touched on, momentum indicators, you can see them both curling, right? We're going to see crosses. The last time we saw a cross, look at this. The last time we saw a cross on the MACD, look what happened in price. Look at that, all right? Let me draw that a little cleaner, all right? I'm getting a little exuberant here. The last time we saw a cross, look what happened, okay? We moved from 52 cents all the way up to almost $2. We did like a 4X, okay? We're getting a MACD. I'm not telling you we're going to do a 4X, but right away, we will be doing a 4X at least. We're doing more than a 4X, but we're getting the MACD that's curling up. We're getting the KST indicator that looks like it's curling up. So we want to see a bullish close tomorrow on the weekly candle, all right? That's what we want to look for. We want to see something that's around the 70 cent level. I mean, the main thing is we want to close above this 10 SMA. We want to stay above 73 cents, 73.2 to stay technical. This 10 SMA will change as price data fluctuates within the next 24 hours to 36 hours as I'm recording this video, okay? But we want to stay around 73 cents, okay? That's what you want to look for this weekly close. Now, I've seen some bullshit posted on Twitter, which it pisses me off because I am a very strong proponent, advocate of Ripple, okay, what they're looking to do, and the cryptocurrency token associated with Ripple, which is XRP. And so when I see people on Twitter post hype, which is very common for whatever reason, for XRP in particular, it pisses me off. And I've just begun to mute people. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not a cup and handle. The cup and handle would have to get up closer to this area here or this area here, okay? So if you've seen someone post a cup and handle, okay, for what has existed within this price pattern from here up to here, that's not a cup and handle. The way a proper cup and handle is drawn, depending what time frame you're looking at, in this case it's a weekly, it's okay to draw it from the candle bodies up to where the price wicks or another candle body. You can also draw it from the wick up to around the area wicks. It doesn't need to be exact, but the price at this point here, whether it's a candle body or wick, to the price level over here where it wicks or candle bodies, they need to be relatively close. This is at $2, and this is at $2.75 to $3.55, right? There is no cup and handle, but I have good news. This area, once we clear this red zone here, which I firmly expect to happen once we get more bullish momentum over the next couple weeks, this red box is another area of resistance. What I could see, what I think is a very large potential, is we've come down, massive rounding bottom, okay? We come up, we wick maybe up here, and we come down here, and we consolidate. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a cup and a handle. And that would provide massive support and room to the upside to shatter the 355, 335, 385, depending on what exchange you look at for XRP. We're going well above the all-time high. I'm not doing price predictions in this video. If you want to see price predictions, you can go to the Holy Crypto Trinity video, because I do talk about XRP, and I talk about the fact that price could get somewhere between ultimately $5 to $10. That's what I see for this bull cycle. By the end of the year, I see somewhere around $5 to $10. All right, so we're going to go well above the 355. Let's get into XLM. Now, XLM, the only reason I have two lines drawn here, two blue lines drawn here, is so you can distinctively see the pattern. This is a cup and handle pattern, okay? The chart formation on here, this has nothing to do fundamentally with the project, okay? Let's distinguish fundamentals from technicals. People get too caught up and too maximalist about things, all right? This is a cup and handle. You can clearly see, based on the blue line here, this is a massive cup, and we have since, look at this, we have since created a handle. Again, price projections, again, I expect then a massive move. It wouldn't surprise me once we break the all-time high, come back, back test it as support, and continue moving up, okay? I posted price predictions for XRP and XLM in the Holy Crypto Trinity video, which I will leave a link to. And you know what? Let me point this to you. Real quick, let me take a second to show you this. So, this is my YouTube channel. It has begun. If you want to watch this video, I'm talking about Bitcoin and a unique approach in terms of nobody else I've seen on crypto Twitter talk about why I'm seeing a turnaround in Bitcoin and why the final fifth wave, people who are Elliott wave technicians, but the final leg of this bull run has begun. I talk about it here. I talk about a long way to the top if. This video gets into a little bit more technical details, an update on Hbar. I get into there. The HbarBarians chart or video is another great video. This is not loading. It's not cooperating. HbarBarians is another great video for all the HbarBarians if you want to see most recent price predictions for Hbar. And then the Holy Crypto Trinity. This is, in my opinion, this is the best video that I've done. I get into a lot of the Hbar1 mana views. I don't know what's going on there, so let's get out of that. But I get into a lot of views on Hbar1 mana. I give price projections, in my opinion, on where things may possibly go, as well as a few other projects like XRP, XLM, Dash, a few other coins. So take a look at that on my YouTube channel if you haven't. But anyway, this is a massive cup and handle on XLM. This is beautiful market structure. The other thing I wanted to point out here, you see this 75.84%, let's call it 76%. Now, if you're paying attention to my tweets on Ethereum, I think it was July of 2017 in our prior 4-year cycle bull run. Before Ethereum topped out at, I think, 1,400. I'm not going to go back to the chart. I think it was 1,400. In July, right before that top out in December, it had a 70% correction. So it was bearish price action in a massive bull cycle. Okay, this is what I've been saying since May. Have I switched sides here, folks? When I say folks, that makes me sound very old. I'm not very old. I'm not that old. But seriously, everyone, have I said anything besides the fact that we're in a massive bull market? This desk feels really nice. I've been doing this video this is a long video. We're in a long time in this video. So thank you for staying tuned in. Hit a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. This shit's going to take a long time to edit because I might be editing a few things out. So, but back in July of 2017, we had a massive 70% correction in Ethereum. We all know what happened to Ethereum. It became ultimately the #2 cryptocurrency right behind Bitcoin, right? So as deflating as it is, look, I'm an XLM holder, as deflating as it is to see a 76% correction in XLM, okay, no one can time these things perfect. I'm going to use a line that I've used many times before for those who have been following me now for a little while. Par for the course. This is nothing uncommon. When you spend as much time studying these markets as I have, as deflating as it is to see that you're holding XLM at 80 cents, and you think it may possibly break its all-time high. And again, it depends what exchange you look at. But here we're looking at Binance, and it looked like $1.05 for XLM. And you think it's going to break through $1, then it has a 76% correction. Take a deep breath, remain unemotional. You know what you're invested in. This is a long-time project. This is a longer-standing project. Has great bullish structure here, okay? Take a deep breath and realize that a 76% correction in a massive bull cycle is not uncommon, okay? This is a very risky market, but with great risk, there's great upside if you know what you're doing. So I love the structure being built here. This is on the weekly. As we can see, look at the MACD here, okay? The MACD, oof. It was a rough circle. I was never good in art class. I think I've shared that with you on my podcast. By the way, check out my podcast because I comment on the crypto markets quite frequently. This here is about to curl up, okay? KST, same thing, all right? The other thing I'd keep in mind with just the price on XLM, and then we're going to get into our last two charts. The price right now is above the 50 and the 10 SMA, all right? We want to see the price close above. We definitively want to see the price close above 28 to 29 cents, okay, which is the 10 SMA, all right? Right now, it looks like we're sitting at about 31 cents, okay? So make sure tomorrow we're at about 28 to 29 cents because as long as we do that, we can continue building bullish structure to move up. We can consolidate and then come up and continue higher, okay? That's what we want to see. Let's get into the last few charts. I don't have a whole ton to say on these last two. This is Bitcoin Cash. I will say it was a little, I'll be honest, it was a little disappointing to me that we didn't get above 1,600. We did make a massive move. We were around, before the start of the year, we were around like, I think it was like 250. Yeah, around 250. We made a move up to 1,650, which is a massive move. But the thing that's been a little deflating is, you know, the ultimate high is at $43.74, all right? Let's just call it $4,400, all right? We're a long way around that, away from that, right? We still held this black trend line. Let's auto-adjust this. We held this black trend line, which was very important. You can see this is an area of price confluence where we've dipped to it, wicked below it, but retained above it. We are above, I mean, this is bullish on the weekly view. We're above the 50 SMA and the 10 SMA. So I fully expect for price to get significantly higher than the $1,600 level here and to challenge this $43.74 level. The thing you have to understand with Bitcoin Cash, okay, as Bitcoin moves, Bitcoin Cash will move. Okay, so as Bitcoin begins to break out and break above its prior all-time high around 65,000, Bitcoin Cash is going to go pretty crazy. Dash is the last coin we're going to cover. As you can see, there's a rounding bottom here that I'm forming. This is on a weekly chart. The MACD is curling. The stochastic RSI is almost above 20. You can see the blue above the orange, which is very bullish. So we're beginning to see a trend reversal here. The prior all-time high, it looks like it was about we're going to call it 480, okay? Was it 480? 490, excuse me, 490, 492. All right, but we're starting to curl, form a rounding bottom. The price indicators are indicating a trend reversal. The 10 is going to curl back above the 50 SMA, and eventually we'll get a golden cross to get the 50 SMA above the 200 SMA, all right, which is the 200 SMA is always the pink line that I show. Now, nothing has changed for me, okay? I have indicated, dear Lord, what's going on. I have indicated this circle is what I'm expecting, somewhere between the 1.618 to 2.618. So I expect Dash to break. Dash is a very volatile asset, has a smaller market cap, and it could get quite volatile, okay? But I fully expect Dash to get somewhere between its 1.618 and 2.618 fib extension once we break 1600. Yes, that does imply Dash right now is sitting at $170. Okay, $170. So that would imply it's going to do more than a 10x from current levels, all right? Which would not surprise me one bit given the low market cap and volatility associated with something like Dash. Now, the last thing that I wanted to do before we get to some closing remarks, single project we just covered, all 10 cryptocurrency projects, and I wanted to discuss only based on current price levels, okay? This is just based on current price levels, which ones I deem to be the most advantageous to buy today, okay? This was actually, I created this, I believe, yesterday. So I'm recording this video on Saturday, the 7th of August. I believe I created this on Friday the 6th, but not too much has changed. So we should be able to use this still with the same sort of parameters that I initially had in place here. So what I'm showing here, where it's applicable, you can see for the first 5 cryptocurrency projects, these are the prior all-time highs. Okay, obviously it's not applicable for these 5 because they weren't in the 2013 to 2017-18 bull run, right? So we have the prior all-time high. We have the price as of January 1st, 2021. We have the current all-time high. Okay, so the current all-time high is the highest price that each project has reached this year. Okay, and we have its current price. Again, this was as of yesterday, so this might not be as current as it is today. For example, XRP is at like 80 cents. All right, so current to prior all-time high. This is what this is telling us only for the first 5 projects is how high is the current all-time high this year in relation to the prior cycle all-time high, right? Let's look at Ethereum as an example. So 43.84, the highest price that Ethereum has reached, relative to its prior cycle all-time high of 1420, that's 3.1 times its prior all-time high. 43.84 is 3.1 times the price of 1420, okay? Whereas XRP, for example, hitting $1.98 relative to 355, that's only 60% of its prior all-time high, right? $1.98 is only 60% of the value of 355, right? So 3.1 is a lot stronger of a value than 0.6, right? Ethereum is the only token that has reached, of these 5, a price higher than its prior all-time high. XLM got very close. XRP, not so much. BCH, Bitcoin Cash, and Dash are not doing as well, right? 0.3 and 0.4. Current multiple. So what is the current multiple? Well, the current multiple is looking, Jesus Christ. The current multiple is looking at the, so what's the current multiple? The current multiple is looking at the current all-time high in relation to if you had invested on 1/1/21, right? So let's look at XRP, right? So as we all know, we had a black swan event at the end of 2020. XRP's price to start the year of 1/1/21 was pretty rough, pretty rough. 22 cents to start the price at 1/1/21, but it hit almost $2. It essentially hit $2, which was a significant price increase. So it did a 9x, okay, till its all-time high. That's significant. That outpaced Ethereum by 2 times, all right? Ethereum only did a 4.5x. Ethereum did a 9x. All depends when you invested, right? Because if you look at Ethereum's current all-time high relative to its prior all-time high, ultimately, if you invested earlier, Ethereum has vastly outperformed XRP. But if you invested at the start of the year, XRP was the better investment. It did a 9x versus a 4.5x, right? And you can see all the price multiples here. Green, by the way, is good, black is neutral, and red font is not so good. Not good at all. Bad. Price to all-time high. What that's saying is the current price relative to its current all-time high. So there's a couple ways to look at it. If you have strong price appreciation in a lot of these assets, like if you look at the current multiple, let's look at something like one, okay, Harmony. The current price multiple, what that says is 23 cents relative to if you had invested at the beginning of the year, which is relatively, it's 0.004, so it's about a half a cent. That's a 54.2x multiple. Well, now if we bought at current prices, which is around 8 cents, it represents only 34, at 8 cents, it represents only 34% of the value of its prior all-time high at 23 cents. That's a bargain, right? Whereas HBAR, there's a couple ways you can look at it. HBAR is roughly half, right? HBAR is sitting at 22 cents. Its prior all-time high was 46 cents. So it's not as good a bargain if you feel there's going to be great price appreciation relative to its all-time high. But 48% of its prior all-time high tells us that it has greater strength in retaining its value. So there's a couple different ways that you can view these metrics. But ultimately, the strongest ones that I'm looking at to invest in today, based on current price levels, based on their current all-time high this year, and also taking into account those projects where we have price history for prior all-time highs, I would say the strongest investments to make right now would be XLM. They would be One, Mana, and I'd also argue XRP because it's only 37% of its prior all-time high at $2. Now, one thing I want to the ones that have not done so well, I was really surprised when I put this together. Look at Chainlink. Chainlink started the year at $13.70 and it only went to $52.45. It only did a 3.8x. So I wasn't, if you got in at the start of the year, it's not a significant price appreciation relative to a lot of these assets. I was surprised. Bitcoin Cash and Dash just haven't done very well. They do have great setups relative to their prior all-time high this year at 33% of the value. But, looking at current all-time high relative to prior all-time high, looking at their current price multiple, pretty low, right? The only reason I didn't list HBAR was because even though it had a very high price appreciation from the start of the year at 3 cents to 46 cents, it has great strength in retaining its value at about half of its all-time high, but it's just not as much at a discount relative to One and Mana, right? 43%, it's close enough to 30% that I put it in green font. But these are your greatest bargains. One, Mana, XLM, and I'd also say XRP. Those are your greatest bargains at current prices, in my opinion. So with that being said, I really hope that you appreciated the video. If you did, please like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, share it with others. And we're going to close this thing out as we always do in typical CryptoBullGod fashion. So until next time, carry the education forward. Cut the music. Now what I'd like to have right now is for all of you fat, out of shape, still living in your parents' basement, cranky crypto bears, to keep the noise level down and take a look at what the real CryptoBullGod looks like. You're in for a rude awakening. Hit the music.